Hello, Taproom Coach here, and we're talking about our fourth point for the marketing plan, which is competitive analysis. Now, this is where you're coming in and laying out what your strengths are going to be from the market review that you did. In the market review, like we talked before, maybe you're in a larger town and there is no finer dining, so maybe your competitive analysis leads you to want to do a little more finer dining. Maybe you have some tuna fillet or some bullshit like that on your menu versus just your standard burger. If you can't tell, I'm more of a burger guy, not too fine dining, but everyone enjoys a good steak every now and then. So when you're laying out the competitive analysis, you're researching your competitors. Majority of the people offer this, so we're going to offer this. Most of it is just, bag to fryer stuff, so we're going to take a little more artistic approach to it and hand bread the jalapenos or hand bread the mushrooms to give it a little better of finer dining experience, or a little above a casual dining experience. That is what you're laying out in your competitive analysis. You're also tackling the sales. When you pull your report from your small business development office, you can kind of see what the sales are, so you can kind of position, if we do this, we should be able to hit our target sales of $1 million a year, based off little elevated food, little elevated beverage products. You're comparing sales there. You're also comparing the marketing. Maybe someone just posts once a week on Facebook. You're going to compare your marketing to that. We plan on posting 4 to 5 times a week. We're actually going to push on Facebook or push on Instagram, or maybe we've got a younger audience, so we're going to push on TikTok, do videos about our food and do a little dance however that works. Some of you are watching this on TikTok, and I'm not doing any dances for you on TikTok unless you want to whip out those dollar bills, and I'll dance for a long time. Also, you're kind of laying out how you're going to capture the market. Like we were just talking about, we're pushing a little elevated of a food product. We're going to have a little larger menu than some of these people. We're going to have a great mixed drink program along with the beer that we're doing. I go back to when we did margarita flights. We were probably going through a case of tequila every 3 weeks at the brewery. And then we had a person come up to me and say, hey, I want to do a margarita flight. Me being the staunchy old bastard that I am, just loving beer and whiskey. And I was like, just throw it together. Let's look at it and see what it is. I didn't really have any plans on doing it, but once that person threw it together and we took a picture of it, I knew it was going to be a very profitable venture that we took. So after we did the margarita flights, that first week we probably went through about 8 cases of tequila, which is pretty unheard of around here. So you're just laying out your competitive advantage, laying out how you're going to differentiate from your product. Maybe like the whole thing that came about from doing the margarita flights. We offered beer flights, so margarita flights were a great attraction. You could do mimosa flights on Sundays. If you're serving brunch, you could do some cider flights. We had a lot of different flavors, so we could take our cider, which was a base. It was a dry cider. I love good dry cider. I made a dry cider because majority of the cider that's out there is very sweet, and we're able to do the base dry cider. Then we could toss some blueberry in there. We could toss some raspberry, strawberry, and just make a nice little flight to give something to sip on and drink and talk over with your friends and what you like and what you don't like. Someone might like the raspberry, the other person might not, and they can kind of compare notes of what they like about it. It makes it a little interactive and a little more funner to come out. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much of and how you're going to ward off your competitors. Maybe you're the only brewery in town, so it's pretty easy to market, that you make the beer right here in town that you're drinking. Maybe you are choosing to go down the route of a wood-fired pizza, and you're the only person in town that's going to have a wood-fired oven, so you can kind of differentiate and ward off any future or present people in the market of having that differentiating product. This is where you kind of dive in and hone in on your business model a little bit better and how you're going to compete with the other people in the area. So, as always, this is kind of a one-take deal, and I'd like to remind you, always use metrics and data to drive your volume and profit. Cheers.